So glad you can join my daughter Emma and I for a recovery yoga flow today. I wrote this for her and her friends after they do some really intense swim sessions, so it's a treat to get to share her and this flow with you today. We're starting seated, just breathing in and out, relaxing in the back of the throat. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the nose, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to move into a tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, and we're going to go ahead and drop the belly, opening up the chest, lifting the heart and chin, and exhale into that cat position. Inhaling into cow, lifting chest and heart, and exhaling into cat, lifting the belly button to the spine. Taking this on your breath flow. And exhale as you lift the spine. Coming back into that neutral position, we're going to walk the feet out into high plank. We're going to inhale, coming forward on your toes. Exhale, keep those elbows into your sides, chaturanga all the way to the floor. Fingertips up to the tops of the shoulders. We're going to breathe several times, opening up into cobra. Inhaling to come up. Exhale, lower down. We'll move the hands slightly closer towards the hips. Inhaling up just a little bit higher. Exhaling to release back down to the floor. Hands move back again. Inhale, coming up maybe a little bit higher this time. Elbows stay in to the sides and lower back down. Hands move back. Inhale, coming up a little higher. And exhale, releasing down. Hands move back even further to get a little more leverage for a full lift up into cobra, if that feels good to you. Shoulders pull down from the ears. And we exhale to release. Elbows stay into the sides. Then we're going to press our weight back into our hips, coming into child's pose. Couple breaths here. And then we're going to bring our hands back in. We're sitting on tops of our heels. Big sun breath. Hands come all the way up. Palms pressed together. And then we're going to exhale and release. Hands come back behind, interlacing those fingers, rolling the shoulders back, opening up the chest. And then we're going to go ahead and release. And you're going to come down onto your right hip. We're going to extend that hand, taking the back of the hand across the thighs and reach with the opposite arm, looking up towards the sky. Exhale to release. And we're going to switch sides. You're going to sit on your left hip. Hand comes across the tops of your thighs, reaching with the opposite arm, looking up to the ceiling. And then we're going to go ahead and come back to center. Another deep breath in. Hands come all the way up. Palms pressed together. Little baby back bend here if that feels good to you. And then we'll exhale, coming forward into child's pose again. We're going to curl the toes into the mat. Slowly lifting the sits bones. You don't have to straighten those legs, coming into down dog. We're just pedaling into the heels here, pressing into the hips. Little rock side to side, just opening up in this position. And then we're going to go ahead and you're going to take your right foot and bring it all the way forward. Coming into runner's lunge here. You can drop that back knee for support or keep it lifted. Then we're going to plant the hand underneath the shoulder. And you're going to take your right arm and reach it up. Looking up to your hand, we'll drop that back knee if it's not down already and reach towards that back foot. If bringing the back foot in isn't accessible to you right now, just take the reach and keep your foot to the floor. We'll release hands and then we're going to shift our weight back into the hips, elongating that front leg, only folding forward as far as feels good to you, peeling the toes up. Then we're going to shift forward into modified splits. And then take a forward fold over that front leg. Again, only as far as feels good to you. Then we're going to come on up, bend that front leg, bringing the sole of your foot to the top of your thigh, bringing both hands forward and lifting back up into down dog. We're going to inhale, coming up on the toes. Exhale, pressing down into the heels. Inhale, coming up onto the toes. And exhale, lowering into the heels. Heels don't need to touch the floor unless that feels good to you. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Then we're going to take that right knee and drive it forward, bringing that knee towards the wrist, coming into pigeon pose. So your shin can be as parallel to the top of the mat as you like. Then we're going to walk up on the fingertips, opening up the chest, pull the shoulders down, and then we'll exhale and release. Coming forward, maybe you're on your forearms, like Emma is, using those for support. Maybe you're down to your forehead, totally up to you. You don't have to come down to the floor. You can stay higher if that's better for you. Then we'll come on up, walking those hands over. And then we're going to bring that back foot in only if it feels good. If it's too much to bring the foot in, feel free to just take that hip opener and stay to the side. If it's really intense to keep that leg straight, feel free to bend the back leg and rotate back on your hip. Getting on your sits bones as a modification will bring that back leg all the way forward. We're going to bind, get tall, and then walk your hand back, opening up through the chest here. Taking a deep breath in. We're going to exhale and release, coming into cow face. So we're going to stack the knees here. If that doesn't work for you, you could certainly just fold your legs. Then we'll bring that elbow up for a little tricep stretch here. If you like to take the bind, you can reach up or walk those fingers down the shoulder blade. We're going to get nice and tall and then exhale, folding forward. We'll come on back up and we're going to release the tricep. We're going to start to extend the legs, holding on to that knee that was high and rolling onto your back. Bringing that knee into the chest, we're going to take a deep breath in and then exhale, bringing it across your body. Shoulders stay down to the floor. You're not going to bring your knee any further over than your shoulders can keep contact to the floor. And then we're going to release back up. We're going to put that foot to the floor and bring that other foot to your knee. And we're going to take a little IT band stretch with this figure 4 here, bringing the knee into the chest if that feels good. And then exhale and release, bringing both feet down to the floor. We're going to inhale, take a little bridge lift, bringing those hips up nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hips come up. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower hips back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. We'll take hands underneath the knees and rock all the way up to your feet. We're going to go ahead and bring your hands in front of you. And we're going to come into a forward fold by slowly, slowly extending the legs. They don't have to get straight. And nice hamstring stretch right here, back of the leg. We're going to lift halfway. And exhale back into that forward fold. Right hand reaches to the left elbow, left hand to the right elbow, little rock side to side here in ragdoll. Then we're going to release the hands back to the floor and walk those feet back to down dog. We're going to go ahead and take this sequence on the other side. This time we're going to bring the left foot all the way forward to the outside of the left hand. You can drop that back knee if you'd like. And then we're going to go ahead, plant the hand, reach up with the opposite, and you're going to follow with your gaze. Dropping the back knee if it's not down already and reaching towards that back foot. If you can bring it in and take a bind there, go for it. Otherwise, feel free just to take the look back there. We'll bring both hands back down and shift your weight back into your hips, peeling your toes off the floor. folding forward on that front leg as far as feels good. Then we're going to take a little slide into a modified splits, coming on up and then folding forward onto that front leg, if that feels good for you. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to bring that front foot all the way in towards the thigh. Hands come forward, coming back into down dog. We're going to inhale, coming up on the toes. Exhale, releasing down into the heels. Inhale, up onto the toes. And exhale, lowering back down into the heels. Again, heels don't need to touch the floor. We're just weighting them, stretching out through the backs of the legs. Then we're going to take that left knee, bring it forward to the left wrist, coming into pigeon pose on the other side. Walk up onto the fingertips. Chest is open. Shoulders pull down from the ears. And then we're going to exhale, coming into resting pigeon, bringing your weight forward a bit. Maybe you come down onto your forearms or your forehead, taking a few breaths to release here. Then we're going to come on up, walk those hands over to the right side, bringing that foot in if it feels good. If not, just stay with the hip opener or bend that back leg and rotate onto your hip. Deep breath in. We're going to exhale and release, bringing that back leg all the way forward, crossing over the front leg. Anchor with the hand. Walk back with the opposite hand, staying really tall through the rotation. Then we're going to release, coming into cow face. Again, if stacking your knees isn't accessible to you, you'll just take a cross leg position, bringing the arm up for a tricep stretch. You can take the bind if you like, keeping that chin lifted from the chest, or walk those fingers down the shoulder blade if that's better for you. We'll exhale with a little forward fold. And then we're going to go ahead and release. We're going to hold on to that top knee and gently roll onto your back. And then we're going to pull that knee across your body over to the side. Shoulders stay pressed down to the floor. Again, you don't want to take that knee any further than your shoulders can stay down for. We're going to come on back to center, and we'll take that figure 4 position on the opposite side, reaching underneath that left leg and pulling it into the body. And then go ahead and release. We'll take that bridge lift. Hips come up off the floor as you inhale slowly. Exhale, releasing those hips back down to the floor. Inhale, hips rise up. And exhale, lower back down. Then we're going to go ahead, take your hands underneath your knees, and this time we're going to rock up to a seated position, legs out long in front. We're going to take seated staff pose here. We're going to add in a forward bend, a forward fold. Exhale and release forward. Knees can be bent here as well. So we've got straight legs, but you could definitely do this with bent legs as well. And then we're going to come on up. Another deep breath in, exhale, and forward fold. Next, we're going to be moving into plow pose. And if you have any neck issues, you're going to want to take another forward fold here instead of taking this plow pose. If you want to take plow pose, you'll scoot your seat to the end of the mat and roll those feet up over. They don't need to touch the floor. And you can use your hands to your hips or take your palms to the floor to support your body here. Breathing in, feeling a really nice stretch. And then we're going to release. Coming right into Shavasana. We invite you to stay here as long as feels good for you. We're just focusing on breathing. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest, backs of your hands down to the floor. Feeling connected to the earth here. Taking that breath deep into the belly, feeling the belly rise and fall with the chest. Again, we invite you to stay here as long as feels good for you. Whenever you're ready, we're going to roll onto your right side, just taking a few breaths here. And then we're going to return to a seated position, similar to how we started. You could also take lotus if you like, taking your feet to the tops of your thighs. We're going to reach out with that right hand and then take the left up over the head, taking a deep breath in. We're going to exhale, roll the top shoulder back, lifting your heart and gaze to the sky, and then release to the opposite side. Deep breath in, exhale, roll the top shoulder back, lifting your heart. And then releasing back to center, interlacing those fingers, pressing your palms to the ceiling, and breathing in deeply. Feeling so grateful for the chance to be together in self-care today. Grateful to carve out the time to make it happen. Grateful for bodies healthy enough to do this. We're going to exhale, bringing hands to heart center. The light and love in me honors and cherishes the light and love in you. Namaste, friends. Thanks for joining us today.